You're walking in the woods. There's no one around and your phone is dead. Out of the corner of your eye, you spot him.
Hello, my name is Graham and I'm here today to talk to you about Walter's Final Wish, Call of Cthulhu modern day scenario published in Fear's Sharp Little Needles by Stygian Fox. This is a one location scenario where the party is besieged in a nursing home by zombies. The sudden outbreak takes the players by surprise, and before long, they will be fighting to survive as all the residents of the nursing home turn into the undead. This scenario is very simple on the surface of it and offers a very good twist on the tired trope of zombies, with the zombies themselves being played out in the media today as a fairly regular and common thing. The author has used this as the backbone of what is happening in the nursing home, a zombie apocalypse scenario, but it's actually an illusion, playing straight into the players' expectations. One of my players even said there better not be zombies as we started to set this game up, and I wholeheartedly told him there wasn't. He had a good chuckle when the zombies appeared, and I had a good chuckle when the illusion was dispelled. So, I quite liked Walter's Final Wish. Actually, I liked it a lot, but mainly because of the concept and the twist to the old trope. The way this scenario is set out is okay, but I feel that it's more of a seed than even a framework. There's not a lot here to go on, other than a few sort of key things. So, what is actually going on in the nursing home? Well, one of the OEPs, Walter, has decided he's sick of the world and the crap they put on TV, and he wants to live forever. So he's enacting a ritual that he found in an old dusty journal one day as he worked as an antique dealer. It outlined the worship of the charnel god called Mordigian, which is a deity from Clark Ashton Smith, and he wants to use this ritual to become a ghoul. By doing so, he has to lie in state while the nursing home is turned into a shambles, with the illusion of the zombies falling like a sort of clawing pall onto the sort of the vision of everyone within, and they start seeing everyone in the home as zombies or other threats. Turning them into mass murderers should they start protecting themselves and kill the hapless old folks, which are just trying to survive, much like the players themselves. This ritual killing will turn Walter into a ghoul. And this is where we come into the first hiccup of the scenario, in my opinion, as we start looking at the buy-in and the hook of the actual scenario itself. Basically, it doesn't give you one at all. There is no setup, there is no investigation, there is just this is happening. And while that is fine, to get the most out of this, you really need to have some engagement and, history with the old folks, so the twist will actually hit home. So, because the scenario is relying wholly on the keeper to ride this, being offered only the bare bones of you're in a lounge of a nursing home when X happens, but does little to do anything else other than it gives you a sort of link to separation anxiety, which is the first scenario in the Fear's Sharp Little Needles. If you've played that beforehand, that can link in quite well to this, and that's what I did. I linked this to that scenario. They were searching for the Farnsworths who worked here and wanted to know more about them. So I used that to compel the PCs to talk to the residents. So the scenario gives you almost 2 pages of backstory for Walter, hinting at his bigoted ways and all about the TV in the lounge and how to kick off the actual main event. With the TV show showing a reporter being eaten by a sort of a woman who stumbles onto the set and starts chewing down. And considering there's only 250 words in this scenario, it's an impressive waste of what pretty much half the allotted words goes on just either flowery language or unessential waffling in his backstory of Walter. And considering it's very hard for the players to find Walter because there's no connection to lead the players to him, he is just lying in state in his room. I feel this is woefully underwritten for what it could have been. So it could have been better spent fleshing that out, and the staff giving a proper buy-in. As without that emotional connection to the old folks in the home, as I said before, the twist is going to fall very flat because you have no emotional connection to the NPCs. So spend some time with them, questioning them on the nefarious activities in the home from the Farnsworth, or invent some sort of angel of death scenario with a staff member going after some of the pensioners and killing them. And it's enough for the players to at least get to know some of them. There's several colourful NPCs given with the scenario, and there is a lot of scope in Old Folks Home to create some more. If you've ever been in Old Folks Home or worked in one, there's a lot of crazy shit you can throw at the PCs that will just throw them out of sorts. Everything from Alzheimer's patients to just openly angry and bitter individuals who have been thrown in there. It's quite a rich environment. So after you've done some talking to the NPCs and you feel that the PCs are either getting a little lost or a little bit too comfortable, you can start selling the main event as you drop the illusion onto them, and all the zombies basically turn around and go for them. This is the meat and potatoes of the scenario as the zombie illusion sort of falls, and some better advice on how the residents would act could have been given, despite it being pretty straightforward, I suppose, on what they're doing. They should move slowly. They're old age pensioners after all, and they should be aping the appearances and motions of the zombies. Panicking, they'll lash out and start going towards who they would assume are help, or trying to attack other people they think are zombies. It's not quite clear what they actually see, and is left up to the GM. One of the OEPs has created some DIY stunners, which gives an offering of an insight to the true nature of the zombies as they can shock the users. However, I offered some other ways to sort of clue in. One being a camera, which would take a picture of reality, and if they looked at that picture on the digital camera, they'd see what was really happening. One of my players actually did that, and then despite that and seeing it, didn't tell anyone and ran away, which was amusing, leaving them to kill the zombies. And the stunner can do the same sort of thing. It can jolt them out of the illusion and provide them a small glimpse back into what was really going on around them. However, this is dependent on the PCs actually picking the stunners up and using them and failing the roll, so it actually electrocutes them, which is a lot of ifs to give the players a small clue. So I would throw in a couple of listen rolls so they can actually hear the screams and panics through the illusion, maybe an extreme or a hard, and also a spot hidden roll to see the sort of like panicking, desperate need for help or plead for help in the eyes of the people they're actually bludgeoning to death. Either or you can come up with some more tells like how they're acting or what they're trying to do, sort of giving away what's really going on. It does actually help you sell the twist as well. If you just write up, don't give them a chance to understand what's going on, some players can feel a bit cheated by that sort of reveal. So other than that, the PCs will start to probably kill people. It's almost ingrained in Call of Cthulhu players now. That when in trouble start swinging around shotguns and revolvers and baseball bats, because why not? So this is a good sort of moral tale for them. I feel it helped hit my players anyway quite hard when the reveal happened. And as the scene progresses, the players have really two options. They'll either barricade themselves in a room and wait out the zombie horde, or they'll start to think about escaping and start to run towards the car. It's up to you how you want to do this. It doesn't tell you how many people are required to die in order for Walter's ritual to be fulfilled. But I would suggest that once 5 to 10 go down, that the ritual will start taking into effect and the whole atmosphere of the nursing home change. To keep the PCs in and not let them out to the cars, which is the easy solution to this, just run outside, get in the car and go, it's done. And it's a pretty boring and pedestrian way to actually finish it. So what I would do, I'd have some youths hanging around, or a gang hanging around outside in the car park as they draw into the parking lot, and have them exchange some words with the PCs, like a large gang, and have them, slash the tires of, or have them actually become zombies themselves and attack the home. So there's a horde outside too. This should keep them well contained in the actual nursing home. And if they actually get to the car, they'll find out their car's been slashed by the punk who called them names on the way into the home. That sort of thing. So it's an easy solution. You need to think ahead of that. Or it can be a bit of an anticlimax. With them walling up and not actually killing the zombies, they could the illusion could start to fail as Walter's time starts to wane in the actual ritual itself, and then they could perhaps go and try and find them. But it's up to you how you want to deal with that, and it's left over to the GM. So, on the issue of Walter himself, without the setup investigation, for whatever reason the PCs are here, they have no chance to finding Walter because they'll have no clue he exists, and all he's doing is lying on his bed in his room. Even if they figure out the illusion, there's no link to him that will make them click and say, well, it had to be this guy, or they're just left scratching their heads. And I guess that is fine, but it's a little unsatisfying for the players as well. So you can make sure his name comes up a few times at least, and drop some clues that he's a loner and seems a bit weird, or perhaps he's the staff have taken some occult paraphernalia off him a couple times before and warned him, and it's an ongoing joke between the staff that he's a little bit mad, or thinks he's a wizard or something like that. If he gets interviewed by the PCs before the big show, perhaps Walter could actually spot their guns, and a big growing smile will split his face, and you'll know that his patsies have arrived and it's ripe for doing the ritual now, because these guys will be very useful in fulfilling the mass murder that's required for the passing over to the ghoul. So you can also have that as well thrown in there, and just flesh Walter out a little bit to be a bit more than just lying in his room waiting for someone to be proactive. It's a bit of a shit spell otherwise. So when that penny finally drops, after all is said and done and the carnage is over, the PCs will be held to account and will have to really pull out all the stops not to be tried and convicted for the brutal killing spree that they've just been on. Even with Walter dead, if they do figure it out and do kill him, they're still on the hook for all this slaughter. So make sure that these are either burner PCs, or you have a good idea how to get them out of the slammer. One thing they can do is actually give a plead of temporary insanity, which won't be far from the truth, and you can actually perhaps lead them into some sort of adventure in a sanitarium to perhaps regain their sanity, or get them out in some way. You could perhaps maybe convert Genus Loki to a modern scenario and try and get them out that way. That could be a bit of fun as well. So overall, it's a very fun scenario. I love the premise. I love the twist. I think it's utter genius. I just think that the way it is written is it's a lot of waffle that's not required. It's not very well edited, and it goes into a lot of depth and things you don't need. In a 3-4 page scenario, it is brutally vital that you get down what you actually need the players to focus on and do. Half a page on the investigation, half a page on Walter's actions and linking him to the PCs in a way where they can actually know that it's him that's doing this would have been great. And even some of the staff, maybe the head matron or something like that, to really tie in some sort of other nefarious act, like the Angel of Death, perhaps. A reason for them to be there is all I'm asking for, and it's just not given. So on that front, there's some work for the keeper to do, but not a lot. You could probably sit down in about an hour, half an hour, come up with a decent sort of way of going about this and not having to do too much work. Most of the scenario should be in the combat and slaughtering the zombies, and hopefully an hour or two beforehand talking to and getting to know the quirky NPCs, and really selling them as adorable and lovely people. So when that twist comes and the veil is lifted, and they just see all these people they were talking to 20 seconds ago dead at their own hand, it should really hit home. Yeah, so I thoroughly recommend Walter's Final Wish. And if you have any thoughts on playing the scenario, or you've had some experiences and you wish to share them, or you think I'm talking crap, let me know in the comments below, and thanks for listening.